Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today is a video that I never wanted to make and honestly never want any of you to have to make. So, in a couple of my videos, I mentioned some life updates were coming, and well, there's a big one.
Yeah.
Big one. And it has to do with
this guy.
This guy. Do you want to tell the story, or do you want me to tell the story? Or you want to kind of work on it together?
We can go together, I guess.
Okay.
I guess, well, do you want to start at the very beginning? Like,
start at the very beginning. A very good place to start.
I don't know. Some of your subscribers may know. I don't know if you ever talked about it before. 40 years ago, when I was 16, a week before Christmas, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. I spent...
Which is a blood cancer.
It's a blood cancer. I spent a week in the hospital after we came out and had I figure 4 to 6 months of chemo and radiation therapy. And that summer I had another strong chemo dose, and I've been clean ever since. That cured it. It wasn't fun going through back then because the chemo they did back then was a little more harsh than what they put today. But it cured me. I've been cured for 40 years.
So that's the background.
Yes.
So fast forward to this year. Let me just say that we are very good about going for our yearly physicals at our general practitioner. You know, I'm good about we're also good about going to the dermatologist for skin checks, and I'm good about going to the GYN for all the lady stuff. We're very good about preventative care.
Yeah. And
thank God, because Doug went for his regular physical to the regular doctor,
yeah,
and some of the blood tests came back a little bit wonky. Pretty wonky.
Yeah, it showed that I was anemic.
Severely anemic.
Yeah.
So with that, they ordered a colonoscopy stat. Now, he did have his colonoscopy when he was 50 because now I think they're starting to recommend 45.
45, yeah.
But when he was 50, 6 years ago, almost 7 next week. You'll be 57 next week.
Yes.
It was 50. So when he was 50, he went and had his colonoscopy. It was all clear. There were a couple polyps. They popped them out. No reason to worry. So fast forward, December 6th, he went in for his colonoscopy, the emergency one. And sure enough, they found cancer.
Yeah. A tumor. Yeah.
A tumor.
Tumor is cancer.
It's not...
Cancer's tumor. Cancer's tumor.
It's not colon, it's rectal, but almost into the colon.
Yeah. It's just,
so that has started a whirlwind of everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, we wanted to share this with you for a couple reasons. Number one, you're probably going to see some changes around here. We're going to be a little bit busy when it comes to doctor's appointments and things. We're also probably not going to be doing as much fun stuff the next couple of months. Yeah. And also, we'll talk about this at the very end, but public service announcements that we're going to drill into your head, but we'll talk about that at the end. You know, we weren't sure if we were going to share this information or not, but honestly, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. You have cancer.
Yeah.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Unfortunately, way too many people will get cancer these days. You know, of one sort or another.
But, you know, luckily this was caught. So December 6th, you know, after the colonoscopy, they sit you down and they're like, yeah, there's cancer there. So that's when the whirlwind started. The colonoscopy doctor, the gastroenterologist, sent him for blood work immediately to check for tumor markers. Praise God, they came back negative.
Yeah, they came back clear.
Yes. And then The next week, he had to go and have CAT scans done from neck to pelvis to check for spread. Once again, let me tell you, my friends, waiting is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Waiting to get the appointment. Waiting to get the results. So we had that on the 12th, and once again, clear. It showed no spread to, they said with rectal and colon cancer, it typically spreads to the lungs and the liver, and it was clear. Yeah. It was clear. So very good news. So on the 20th,
sorry.
Do you want to tell the story, or do you want me to? I feel like this is your story, and
that's okay.
I'm better with
you're a better storyteller,
and I'm better with the dates and everything.
I don't remember what day I did this, but I guess the next one was the MRI, right?
No, on the 20th, we had appointments to see a surgeon.
Oh, that's right.
And also an oncologist. We chose to go to the MD Anderson Cancer Center, which actually now they cross out the word cancer and just put center.
Yeah.
MD Anderson started in Texas. It is one of the largest cancer centers around, and we're blessed that they're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
We are blessed to live where we live because we have huge hospitals.
Yeah. Huge
hospitals. We have Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philly. We have Jefferson. We have Penn Medicine. We've got top class, top-notch hospitals.
Right, 20 minutes away.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did some research and talked to some people who have used MD Anderson, and that is the decision that we made. And so far, we've been super happy with it.
Very happy.
It also helps, I'm not going to lie. We have a very good friend who is the director of oncology there.
Yeah.
So she's been a big blessing. So I know I'm all over the place and I apologize. But so on the 20th, we had an appointment first with the surgeon. And, you know, he talked to us and, you know, he said, we really can't determine anything without an MRI first. And they also did what's called a sigmoidoscopy, kind of like a colonoscopy, but without the drugs. Without the drugs.
You're awake.
You're awake, yeah. But anyway, and you know that gave them some more information, and then he kind of said like, this is what I'm thinking. And he kind of gave us a little bit of a plan. They thought it was going to be radiation with maybe a little chemo thrown in, and then surgery over the summer, things like that. You know, he said that was all based on not even the preliminary report.
Yeah.
But you know, he was very positive and said that, you know,
we caught it early.
I mean, it's pretty big. The tumor is 1.5 inches. So that's pretty big. So he ordered an MRI, and then we met with the oncologist, who pretty much told us the same thing. You know, and there was really nothing more they could tell us without the MRI. So fast forward, originally the first MRI date they gave us was February 1st.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna work.
And let me tell you, having a nurse navigator is a beautiful thing. You know, we have a team that all work together here, and it's wonderful. Yeah. Like the nurse navigator called and said, what part of stat don't you understand? We got in like the following Tuesday, the day after Christmas. Yeah. So he had his MRI the day after Christmas, and fortunately or unfortunately, we haven't quite decided yet.
Yeah.
You know, now with the electronic medical records, everything gets put in my chart electronically, and you get to see them. Yeah. So we actually got to see the MRI report, and, you know, it looked good from our untrained eyes, but we were a little bit
suspicious,
nervous, and there were a couple things. So, you know, once again, hurry up and wait. So they have what is called a tumor board. And every other Tuesday, the tumor board meets. And not only is it our people from our MD Anderson, it is also MD Anderson down in Texas. They look at all of the
cases.
The cases and everything also. And this is at Cooper in Camden. It's MD Anderson at Cooper. But anyway, you know, they all discuss, they look at the CAT scans, the blood work, the MRI. They look at his general overall health and things like that. Mm-hmm. And together, they all come up with a plan. It's the surgical team. It's the oncologist. It's the radiologic medicine people. It's everybody. Yeah. They come up with a plan together.
And they do that for every case.
They do that for every case, yes. Yeah. Yes, we are nothing special.
Yeah, so.
They do it for every case.
Every case is individualized.
So, they called us on Tuesday afternoon and said, you know, that the tumor board had met and they wanted to schedule an appointment to talk to the surgeon and the oncologist. They tried to schedule everything at the same time, the same day. Unfortunately, our oncologist was going to be off and the surgeon was going to be off. So we had to go 2 different days. So they scheduled us with the surgeon on yesterday, the 3rd, and the oncologist today, the 4th. So yesterday we went in to talk to the oncologist and we got pretty much all good news. Yeah. The one thing that wasn't the best news is there is one lymph node that is definitely affected. And it's...
Yesterday was the surgeon, I think you said oncologist.
Oh, I'm sorry, yesterday was the surgeon, yes. So there is one lymph node that is affected. We were hoping for clear lymph nodes.
Yeah.
Mesial rectal lymph nodes are clear, but this one was not. So, but you know, he was pretty happy with...
Yeah, that and it was like the tumor is confined to the rectal wall, like it doesn't...
It's not penetrating the rectal wall.
Yeah, so yes. It's not, invasive. It's not invasive.
I mean, it's cancer, it's invasive, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
So he gave us a couple options. He said there were 2 ways that we could go with this. We could do surgery immediately and then probably have to follow up with chemo, which, depending on how well the surgical recovery goes, chemo might not be...
Could be delayed.
Could be delayed, which isn't the best case scenario. Or we could do... Oh, they took radiation off the table completely.
Yeah, so
they decided, no.
Wasn't a candidate.
And they thought that that's what it was going to be, and then they took that off the table completely. He said, or we could do the chemo on the front end of the surgery to knock out any little things that are in there, you know, make it the best possible environment, then do the surgery. And hold on to a couple chemo treatments in case they need them after. So we talked about the pros and cons of both. And, you know, I said to him, what would you do?
So they're the experts.
You're the expert.
Yeah, we defer to you.
What would you do? What would you do if it was your father or your brother or your wife or whatever? And he said he would do the chemo first. Yeah. So we had that meeting with him, and I felt pretty good after we left.
Yeah.
And you know, because he kind of said at the end, he goes, he's going to be around a long time. Like, he's going to be there to bug you. Yeah. You know, the prognosis is very, 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 very good. So today, what did we have to do anything yesterday? No. So today we had to go and meet with the oncologist. She laid out exactly what the treatment's going to be. And basically, he will get a port put in. And then he will have chemotherapy every other Wednesday. But he'll only be there. I mean, a lot of times when people have chemotherapy, you're there for like 6 to 8 hours every day, or, you know, whatever.
While they're pushing the drugs.
He'll only be there about 3 hours, they said, because he will come home with a little jet pack. It's like a little fanny pack.
Yeah.
It'll be connected to his port, and it will dose over 24 hours. So he'll go in on Wednesday, get that hooked up, and then he'll go back on Friday, and they'll unhook it. And then for 2 weeks, nothing. No. And then he'll go again. So it's, you know, and they said, while this is all going on, live your life. He can go to work. He can go to school as he tolerates it. Yeah. They said he may have 0 side effects. He may have a couple.
Oh.
They did say this was the lowest toxin chemotherapy that they use. It's 2 drugs, and there will be 16 treatments.
Yeah.
Now, they also said that, you know, like, if there's something going on in our lives, like, because we have a tentative plans to go to North Carolina or South Carolina in March. And she's like, yeah, we can work around that. Like, yeah, because they want you to continue living your life. They want him to go to work. They want him to go to school. They said that people who are getting chemotherapy, like when he'll be there for a couple hours, they bring their laptops and work.
That's probably what I'll do.
Like, they want you, they don't want, this isn't like the cancer of 40 years ago when he had it, where he, you know,
yeah, I was knocked out. I mean, I not knocked out, but I was like,
yeah,
down.
like I was
down for the day.
They've learned, like, and they even said that they've learned that when you're going through this, but you're living your normal life, you do better.
Yeah.
You do better than laying in bed and not being active. You know, like he mentioned exercise. He's like, we work out every morning. They're like, yeah, and keep doing it. Keep doing it. There's not a whole lot of restrictions. There's one restriction that I don't love. What's that, babe?
What?
Pet feces.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
He's not allowed to be anywhere near the litter box, the chicken clean out coop, or poopy scooping in the backyard. So that's all on me now. And that's fine. Yeah. There's too much bacteria in animal feces, and they don't want them around it, and that makes total sense. Now, they did say, love and snuggle those animals like crazy. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just stay away from their poop. So, what else? Okay, so then after we met with the oncologist today, we had what they called chemo education. We met with a nurse educator. It was us and another woman who actually is getting her port today and starts chemo tomorrow.
Yeah.
And she just went over
everything.
Everything. And like she said, she said, we do this to reduce your stress, not add to it. But, you know, she said, I'm going to go over every single solitary side effect. Does not mean you're going to have them all. You may have none. Yeah. You may have 1. You may have 2. Now, the surgeon did say he would not lose his hair.
Yeah. Yay.
But if he did, that's okay. He'd still be so handsome. What else?
I mean, she went over every side effect, and then she went over every way to combat them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes. And they are available to us 24/7 on the phone.
Yeah.
And she said, call. Doesn't matter. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You call. Yeah. It's a wonderful, wonderful team.
Yeah, warning signs to look out for.
Yes. Warnings. Yeah. Yes. A couple really funky things.
Yeah.
That cold thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The type of chemotherapy he's having, was it the Oxa? I can't even pronounce it. He's having 2 different kinds.
Yeah, I forgot.
One of them's FU5. Kind of thought that was a little funny because, you know, I'm thinking in my head, FU cancer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the other one is a big long name that starts with an O. And that one can actually cause, what did they call it? Cold something.
Cold something. But
like, oh, go ahead.
It's basically like you're ultra sensitive to cold. Like if you reach in and touch a cold soda, it could...
Yeah, she used like a soda can as an example. Like if you reach in the refrigerator to grab like a soda can, it can feel like a shock.
Yeah.
Like electric to your, you know, and if you drink something super, super cold, it can do the same thing.
You feel it going down.
And she said that will 100% happen, didn't she? Didn't she say that?
It's pretty much.
Yeah, she said, so keep a pair of winter gloves on top of the fridge. Wow. And if you have to reach in there, like if I'm not home and he needs to get something from the fridge or freezer, put a glove on. Yeah. And try not to drink super cold liquids.
Even going outside and breathing in like cold air.
Yeah, put a scarf around you. Yeah, she said if it's really cold outside, put a scarf over your face. And it's temporary. It'll go away immediately. But, you know, she said that's just one thing that we love to tell people about because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
So it was the education thing was really, really good. It was about an hour long, and I mean, she just went over everything, answered all our questions. Yeah. I think she answered a lot of my nutrition questions, but we do have a dietitian, nutritionist at our beck and call, you know, as part of the team. So if we have any questions, because there are certain things like he is not allowed to eat, like, you know, we love raw milk, not allowed to have raw milk.
My eggs have to be scrambled.
Eggs have to be scrambled. They're not allowed to be dippy. What else was there? No,
like raw,
no medium, no sushi, which he doesn't really eat sushi anyway.
But like steaks have to be cooked.
Steaks have to be cooked medium well.
Like no rare meats. I'm like, oh, that's ruining it. Might as well eat leather.
Yeah, so I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of beef on our menu. Need to be changing that menu. So, but you know, like, so she went over a lot of that. But like I said, we also have the nutritionist dietitian there too. And we had already met with her once, told her about our lifestyle, and she was thrilled with that. So, you know, that's all good. Let's see. It's going to be every other Wednesday, and the Monday before he goes, he has to have a blood test, because they have to make sure when he goes in on Wednesday, if they need to, like, maybe give him some magnesium or give him some iron, or, you know, like, if his white count drops real low, he'll have to avoid crowds or mask up if he goes out.
Because the chemo treatments is going to reduce my blood levels, like my white count, my red count, my platelets. They're all gonna.
It'll definitely, because what chemotherapy does is it kills off cells, and we want it to kill off all the bad cancer cells, but it can't differentiate between the good cells and the bad cells. That's why people lose their hair, because your hair is a recurring cell growth. It is division and regrowth. What else? Fingernails, things like that. The kind of chemo he's having should not affect that kind of stuff, but it certainly can affect his blood levels. So we just have to be really careful. That's why they like to get the blood test every 2 weeks, just to check his levels. And, you know, like, maybe we'll avoid, like, you know, maybe if his levels are really low 1 week, he'll stay home and watch church online or something like that. Or, you know, if he's going to be around, he's definitely going to avoid people that are sick. He doesn't go to the grocery store or anything much anyway. So now, like, I am not letting him. He's going to go to work. He has his own office. Easy peasy. If he feels well enough and his levels are good, you know, go to church, go to school. I mean, school's a pretty small group, and he can kind of, you know, be away from that. But, you know, they want him to live his life normally, because it's good for his overall mental health. And that's a huge part of this. So what else? Are we forgetting anything else?
That's pretty much the story.
That's pretty much it. Now we're just waiting for approval from the insurance company for the chemotherapy. I can't imagine them not approving it. Our insurance is crappy, but I can't imagine them not approving it. I mean,
crappy and what they pay for.
Crappy and what they pay for, yes, or in how much they pay. Like, we're going to be responsible for a lot of money. A lot of money, but who cares? It's only money. You know, health is more important than that. If you ain't got your health, no point in having the wealth, right? So we're waiting on that. As soon as they get approval, we'll know. He's either going to start January 17th or January 24th. We're waiting to hear on the approval for that. And then they'll also get him set up to have his port put in. That's an outpatient procedure. They'll go in and they give you the same kind of sedation that they do for like a colonoscopy, that twilight sleep. They'll place the port. They said you can have a port placed in the morning and have chemotherapy in that port in the afternoon. Like,
it's really quick.
It's crazy. So we're just waiting to hear all that. So right now we're, once again, hurry up and wait. But at least we have a plan now. We have a plan. So that's good, because it's been rough without a plan. Just, you know, not knowing. So
from when was the initial December 3rd?
December 6th was the...
So it's been a month, and we're like just now finally have
which,
an idea.
Believe it or not, is actually really quick.
Yeah.
They move things along very quickly. So it's really not
horrible.
Not horrible. 2 months into the chemo, they will rescan him and just make sure that nothing new is growing and things like that. Every other chemo treatment, we will meet with the oncologist just to check on how things are going. And about halfway through, we'll meet with the surgeon again just to make sure that's all still on schedule. And they asked us, they said, do you have anything big coming up? And Doug right away said, well, my son's graduating from college in May. Yeah. And they're probably looking at surgery in May, but they'll work around it. They work around your life, yeah. You know, which is a good thing. So I held it together. So now.
She's been good. She's been really good. I know I'll be taken care of. No doubt about it.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I've got a good support system. Between her family, my family. I got a church, yeah. I got tons of people praying for me.
Yeah, so please, if you are the praying type, please add this guy to your list. If you're not the praying type, please keep positive thoughts, hold him in the light, whatever it is that you do, because we'd appreciate it.
Yes.
So there's the video we never wanted to have to make. The video that's been hanging over my head all of Vlogmas. I think I was pretty good.
You are.
Couple days I was,
yeah,
you know, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But we're positive. The doctors are super positive. They said he's going to be around to bug the hell out of me for a long time. And that's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
So
now for the public service announcement.
Oh, yes. This is very important.
This is important. If you are of the age of 44...
Well, no, go back.
What?
Don't start with that. Go back to just get to the damn doctor.
Oh, well, first, go to the doctor at least once a year. Get your physical, get a blood test. This
was found through a blood test.
Yes.
A basic blood test. Not even, you know, nothing fancy. A basic blood test.
Just your everyday basic blood test. Don't be afraid of the doctors. They're there for you. Get a yearly physical. That's a must. And
let me we didn't talk about this. 0 symptoms.
Yeah, I feel fine. 0. I feel fine.
If
I didn't know, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. He has 0 symptoms.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So don't think, I feel fine. There's nothing wrong with me. He feels fine and he has cancer.
Yes.
So please, I don't want to hear that you hate doctors or that you're afraid of needles or whatever. I don't want to hear that. If you haven't had a physical, go. Just get checked out.
No.
Just get your basic blood work. Just get your basic, you know. That brings us to the second.
Yeah. The second is, if you're 45 or older and you've never had a colonoscopy,
or if you're overdue for
one, like if you haven't had one in the past 5 years, get one. I mean, that's how I found out.
Yeah, I mean, he had one when he turned 50 and it was good. He had this one and it's not.
If you've never had one, the first one's free.
Well, don't even say that because people's insurance is different. Ours, I mean, don't even. 99.99% of the time, it's covered by your insurance.
Yes, because it's preventative.
Because it's preventative. So make sure you have your colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Make sure, because it can prevent a whole lot of things. Ladies, same thing with your lady bits. Get them checked, because you never know. Like I said, 0 symptoms. Still working out every morning. Still doing everything he does. And yeah. He would have never known. And sometimes you don't know until it's too late. So we are so thankful that this was caught early-ish, you know, and we're just going to kick its butt and
move on.
Yep. What was the joke I made the other day? Something about what did I say now? I forget. Something about kick cancer's butt that's in your butt or something. I don't know. I made some really, really bad joke about the pain in the butt, or I don't know. So, you know, it is what it is. We'll just have to ride along and, you know. So there may be, like, some videos may not get made. Some collabs may not be participated in. It just depends on timing of things and things like that. But I mean, I plan to still, you know, keep on filming because honestly, we'll need the copay money. So like, comment, subscribe. That helps out my channel.
That's right.
But you know, we just wanted to, we share our lives with you. We share the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
And the most important part of this was the public service announcement. So go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Because, like I said, he never would have known. And I know there's some people who like to play ostrich. Ostrich? Is that what buries its head in the sand? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, there's some people who feel that, well, you know, what I don't know can't hurt me. Yeah, it can hurt you. And, you know, so find out. Find out, my friends. So that is it. I will talk to you in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We will answer as best we can.
Yep.
Just say a prayer.
That's it.
Okay, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and we will see you all
next time.
Next time.